Well, we
Guy
got
Fieri.
we got a couple racers. We got tennis, baseball, and food,
So,
And musician.
and a musician to sing for you while you have dinner and talk about racing with baseball players and drivers.
hey,
It's kind
I
of
will
like
say this. I was going to say something rude. That's a lot of superpower to run 20th and 27th every week. But I will backtrack that. As they announced it, Jonesy's actually turned up the wick. So, stand and wave and make some noise. It is What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the 139th edition of your Tuesday Track Talk podcast featuring your Three Stones pit crew. I am your gas man.
I'm Jack Mankel.
And I'm your tire changer Cam.
And we've got another fun episode here on docket for you. But before we dive into all things racing here, don't be afraid to like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share this podcast on your favorite platform to your best friend, everybody. We appreciate all the support, everybody who follows along, interacts with us on our socials, and supports us. And yeah, we're just three stones having fun talking about racing. So again, don't be afraid, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all the support. And yeah, on today's episode, we're going to talk some racing in the great state of Wisconsin. So um feel like we've had a good stretch of big races up here in the Midwest and in this especially Wisconsin in the month of July and already early August here. So um we're going to talk some Dixieland or Gandrud at Wisconsin International Raceway here that happened on Tuesday. And then we also had a big dirt late model race up at Cedar Lake. So those are our two topics we got today. But before we dive into it, we just got to pan around the pit crew and see what everybody's up to. So how we doing, boys?
Good. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Your usual weather report. It's nice that it's cool at night. Guy can leave the windows open finally. I'm not sure how long that'll last, but just enjoying that and just enjoying summer, to be honest. Sun's out a little bit more than it has in the last week or so. So, um, yeah, it's been nice. Spend a little time outside.
Yeah, we dodged the rain yesterday, which was good. Means we got the entire race in. Um Came into the acquisition of a couple new scanners.
Yep.
So get to monkey with that and see what we can do there. Um yeah, no, I mean had a really good stretch. I was on vacation, so I got to hit both of the races that we're going to talk about here today. Um, be able to be boots on the ground for that.
Yep.
So yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta make sure my four-legged friend, my dog, is not eating something it's not supposed to. So just know I got ears on everything that's being said. But um yeah, like I said, I hate to say summer's just about over, but we're in August already.
True story. True story.
And pretty soon it's gonna be Labor Day. Juiced up, set those alarms early. Badger football fall camp starts tomorrow. Can't wait to inject all those practice highlights in my veins leading up to the season opener. So, got some good juice around football being back. Um, some big races and yeah, a lot to talk about. So,
Hey, real quick, if you're wondering, I don't know if anyone has seen this. If you're a season ticket holder for the Akron Zips, one lucky fan
ye-
gets drawn. You can put together the first drive for their opening game. You could put together the first offensive possession. You get the OC for the first drive. They're going to draw a lucky fan. So if you want a chance to be a college Division I college football offensive coordinator, go buy some season tickets for the Zips.
You
No.
guys got to put your name in and just do halfback draw for every.
Well, I did see. I think the season tickets only cost $75. So I thought I saw somebody was saying $75 at the chance to call the first drive. Um, but there's got to be some guardrails on it because I saw that last night and people already saying, "All right, 4th and 8 from our own 19, we're going for it." Um, there's probably got to be some guardrails on it, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, if that is me, I'm gonna fire up old Madden 20 and start scheming up a couple plays to
Yep.
um, yeah, I saw a Big Cat from Barstool. He's running Shark Wheel, the old running back wheel out of the backfield. So,
Yep.
um, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy what people are doing these days to raise money for athletics. So,
Yeah. But anywho, let's get this train back
um,
to tracks here.
yeah, let's get rocking and rolling here. Let's start talking some racing. A little bit of I don't know. Um, go medium week from news on top of the pit box. So we got some news here. I'll kick it off to our tire changer. He'll hit a couple Jackman, and then I'll wrap us up here with some news.
Yeah, so hitting a little bit of the dirt sprint car news because that's pretty much what this whole section is going to be. Um, it was announced early in the year that Brad Sweet and Paul Silva were going to be joining forces for a handful of races throughout the year. Well, that duo has gone their separate ways, and doing so withdrawing from Knoxville Nationals that are this weekend for the 360s and the 410s for the next weekend. Um, it was more of a commitment from Sweet was the main contributor to the split. He kind of realized with the part-time schedule and the other things that he's working on that he just could not be fully committed to the part-time schedule that he was wanting to do in order to be as successful as he was wanting to be. And him and Silva sat down and talked about it, and they just decided that they should go their separate ways. So was definitely a shock to everybody. It was nice for Sweet to put out the information of what he's actually doing. And you got to respect the guy too for realizing that he's not where he wants to be with that program either.
Yep.
And I see Sweet. The other thing said like he just feels like he doesn't have what it takes to run competitively. Like I thought I saw an article from Flow that said,
The capacity, the brain capacity to put the time into racing the
Oh
car is
yeah.
what he. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So
but
yeah, that
either
is
way, that
correct.
takes from one of the best to ever do it. That takes a big piece of humility to
Mhm.
say and not only do that but act on it. A couple guys in NASCAR could take some notes from that, but we'll leave that left unsaid.
Fair enough. Um,
Somebody
so and
that's
more
going to run the
sprint car
four,
news here.
somebody that's going to run the 48 for the Daytona in 2027.
Yikes.
All right, next one.
Um, Next one, Ashton Torgenson and Three Stooges Racing, have parted ways. Three Stooges, that's their was their second driver. Now they're under their third driver with Steven Snyder Jr. jumping up behind the wheel for the World Outlaws campaign. And then Ashton Torgenson announced recently that he will be racing for Chad Boat Industries for at least the next 2 weeks, both for the 360 Nationals and the 410 Nationals at Knoxville with nothing determined yet for the time being after that. So
Yep.
at least gets them through Knoxville. And then finally for me, the World Racing Group inks a multi-year deal with StubHub for tickets. Fans can still buy tickets through the World Laws like they normally do. This is just a venture to get more eyes onto their product, or at least show the availability of their product.
Yes, that is correct.
And with StubHub's recent and Ticketmaster's recent, you know, ventures, time will tell. We'll say that.
Yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see what what comes to that and how that whole operation is
Yeah.
going to work because, yeah, I'm looking at one general admission ticket for Makoka that's $101.
Yeesh.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Sorry to say that like that, but it's true. Okay, couple things here. Media related. Chip Ganassi Racing has put together an editorial division with stories around their team. That will be called CGR Media, and Jenna Fryer is going to lead the helm on that whole operation. So, um, she is going to put together basically a more in depth coverage of Chip Ganassi Racing in terms of how they go about doing stuff. Um, Speaking of asphalt late model racing, Ty Fredrickson announces a 4 race schedule in the Arca Menard series with help from his super late model sponsors. He'll go Arca Racing, um, in kind of an alliance with Nitro Motorsports. His usual sponsors will be helping him along the way. He's got 4 races scheduled: Iowa, Madison, Bristol, and Phoenix will be the 4 that he is headed to with his kind of own ARCA deal with Nitro. And then speaking of super late model racing, ASA, basically all of their branded series have listed their testing restrictions effective immediately. So that would include CRA, Southern Super Series, Midwest Tour, and the National Tour, where I believe they had, I'm pretty sure it was like 2 weeks. Pretty
Yeah.
sure the testing window was 2 weeks. But you can test, have at it. You can go test. There's no restrictions on that anymore. So, kind of another rule change coming out of the ASA branded tours. So, yeah.
Interesting. I think it's this weekend. Our good friend Jeff Storm. They got the race, the Deachins Memorial at the Dells this week, and I think they're limited to two 15-minute sessions for practice.
Sounds kind of right for
And
the lack of 5.
he said that he really likes that. It's like a little bit dirt late model racing esque. Two
Yep.
15-minute sessions. You got to do your work in the shop before you get there. And yeah, he's like 2 15-minute sessions gives you enough time to get some balance in it, and then let's line them up and go racing. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. But I'll take the last couple here. Young gun Tristan McKee announces he is going to make his Truck Series debut in the Spire 77 at Richmond. So, a lot of news around Spire, um, their truck program, some potential rumors that we're not going to get into, so we don't get humbled. But a lot Spire in the news a lot here. But Tristan McKee is going to be getting his shot in the truck. Carson Brown. Carson Brown. Sorry. Carson Brown. He is going to make his O'Reilly's debut with Jordan Anderson Racing. And it looks like it's going to be at Iowa this coming weekend. And from everything that we can see, it appears to be an RCR alliance. I thought RCR said they put out a quote on him um, making his debut, but neither here nor there. Carson Brown, he's been in just about feels like everything you can drive, um, and does well doing it. So, big opportunity for him and that Jordan Anderson team. So, will be interesting to see what he does this weekend at Iowa. And then lastly, this take it for what it's worth, and I'm not sure how this works, but um, I don't know if this is a fundraising team or what we're doing, but Legacy announces their strategic ownership club, with members alike of Bryce Harper, Scott Dixon, Jen Rubio, Andy Roddick, Dario Franchitti, Kelly Slater, Chase Utley, Tony Kanaan, Sam Bryn, Darius Rucker, and
Well,
Guy Fieri.
we got a couple racers. We got tennis, baseball, and food,
So,
and musician.
and a musician to sing for you while you have dinner and talk about racing with baseball players and drivers.
hey,
It's kind
I
of
will
like
say this. I was gonna say something rude. That's a lot of superpower to run 20th and 27th every week. But I will backtrack that as they announce it, Jonesy's actually turned up the wick. So um I'm yeah, I'm happy that they are at least, if they're bringing on obviously superpowers with superstars with a lot of money, um that is hopefully going to help our sport grow. Let's do it with a team that's hopefully going to start putting those cars in victory lane. So, um,
Oh,
I was gonna say it, but I backed it up because Jonesy's been putting her in the top 10 recently, and so
that's like
um,
no
hope
disrespect and saying something disrespectful.
so yeah, hopefully I'm not sure how that all works.
Offense.
Um,
I'm going to offend you.
yeah, no offense. After I led with, I don't know if this is a fundraising competition, but um, yeah. Anyways, it's interesting the names that they're bringing together. Obviously,
Oh,
like you mentioned, from all sorts of backgrounds, and hopefully, it leads to on track performance. That's um, ultimately what this is about, and so that would be nice to see another Toyota team or a couple drivers in the mix every single week. So, um, anyways, any other random news here, that you guys got that?
no, just Riley Herbst is teasing stuff on Twitter, so we'll see what comes of that.
supposedly Saturday, maybe Saturday.
Apparently, there's some team availability, this, that, or the other, and then he posted some car under a cover, and yeah, we'll see. But okay, I suppose time to talk a little dirt
Well,
racing. Huh?
yeah, let's talk racing. Obviously, like I said, we've had the last month or so has been a wicked stretch of good racing up here in Wisconsin. Um, of big super late model racing, asphalt and um dirt. So let's talk USA Nationals here. Just high note here, or high level. Thursday portion was um ran as great. Friday we had a little weather, and then so we had double shows Saturday. We don't need to discuss it on the podcast, but starting a double show at 5 o'clock on Saturday is,
Tough.
yeah. I don't know what was wrong with, the last year we went, we had that double show on Friday, and I don't know. I want to say we were hot lapping at like 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's like two or three, yeah,
And I want to say we left there at like 11,
because we were
10,
home by one.
10:45
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
I don't know. But 5 o'clock for a double show, and I knew we don't share account logins, but um I knew I had access to Dirt Vision based on somebody was the likelihood of they were going to be sleeping based on the start time. And sure enough, um so yeah, starting, I mean, when I logged in, I think it was 11:54 I logged in, and they were getting ready for driver intros.
Well,
Yeah.
funny enough, we talked about this. I think I watched. I was asleep. I woke up at 11:52, and I watched like the first 4 or 5 cars get introduced. And I looked at it. I'm like, "There's no way I'm making it through the race. I'm not going to watch intros." So as I turned it off, you must have turned it on.
Well, I think I tuned in at like 11:56, and they were getting ready to
I
roll intros,
I literally
and
had
I'm
just
just
clicked it off.
yeah.
Oh,
But anyways, let's talk some racing here. Obviously, I had boots on the ground, so I'll kick it to our tire changer and just see where you want to start, what we want to talk about.
I mean, I'm gonna start with the quote unquote Friday show that was supposed to run on Friday and ran on Saturday. Qualifying. Don't know if it was just it was still hot, it was still sunny, whatever the case may be, but whatever happened, that track got real one laned and really slew down, and they only ran the bottom in qualifying. They did
yep.
a good bit of rework before the heats, and my God, were those heats amazing.
Yeah, the heats were really good. I mean, the big show was really good too. But it just they had that thing tuned up just right that guys were just all over it.
Yep, yep. I think the big one coming out of that is that Devin Moran didn't make the show.
Yep.
Um, I believe Shirley also didn't make the show.
Yep.
Um, who else am I gonna look for here? Mitch
Yeah, there
McGrath,
were
B1 Bomber.
yeah, he had to take a
He
provisional.
took a provisional, yep. So I mean, you had a good number of guys that did not make that show. Um,
How
yeah,
about
but
Dan
you're
Ebert?
gonna get that when you get a ton of guys there as well. So,
How about Dan
uh,
Ebert?
say what?
How about Dan Ebert?
Oh yeah, talk about I mean, he's been hot as of recent. We've talked about him a little bit, mainly on that head to head that Flo and or the Lucas Oil and the World Outlaw boys had.
Yep.
Um, but getting into the fast dash, winning the fast dash, and starting on the pole for that feature race on Saturday and leading a good number of laps, pretty impressive to do.
Yeah. And we talk about it, right? Like we've kind of started to talk about it a little bit in a group chat. I think we're starting to feel a little bit of momentum swing back to Rockets.
Yep.
I think Rockets are starting to, and not that they were ever really behind. It just was Longhorn was so damn good for quite a while now, and they kind of have those pendulums, right? It's chassis swing, and some get really good, and some kind of tend. Well, Rocket is starting to grab back that territory again, and I think one Dan Ebert having speed in really having a breakout season, but also just like where those Rockets are, and you look at Rocket One, yeah, Brandon Shepard's really good, but that program has continuously gotten better, and they're picking up wins and momentum like crazy.
Yep. Yeah, and you saw that with Turbo winning on Thursday too.
Yep.
Just how good those cars are. I mean, he led every lap too.
Yep. So, yeah, no, I think one of the other kind of conversation points, and you could talk about this too for later in the show. Um, the intentional spins for flats.
Or just stopping on the track.
Yeah, we can talk about it with on the asphalt side of things, and certain series have 2 lap penalties and that, but yeah, it just not only does it drag out the show, it also just breaks up the racing.
Yep. Well, and the other thing too is the guaranteed time. Like it didn't matter what point of the race it is. Like I know high limit. If it's after halfway, there is no guaranteed time
Yep.
for now given you got to have a really bad day in order to have this happen to you. But I think the World Outlaws, you can have guaranteed time once, but if you go in the pit area again, you don't get guaranteed time.
Correct.
So it's just, and there was one in particular that really irked me off where somebody had a flat, they were mid to back of the pack, and they went down the back stretch, down the wall. They went right by the opening and stopped right after the opening.
Yep.
And that one just irked me.
Yep.
You're going to
Yeah.
bring out a caution to to potentially ruin somebody else's race.
Correct.
Just that irks me.
Yep.
Put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel if you were leading the race and somebody did it to you? It's one more restart, one more shot that somebody's got at you, and
Sure.
it's not fun.
I get you got a race you're trying to run as well, but it's one thing if you get a flat, you're still rolling and you get a caution. But if you're stopping on the track intentionally to get one, that just,
Yep.
and there's no penalty that goes with it.
Correct. Dirt's a little different in that sense,
Yep. So
but
that one, that just bothered me. I had to get that off my chest because that was just annoying.
yeah, yeah. I mean, looking at the Saturday feature, kind of a couple storylines. Ebert started on the pole, led some laps. Come to find out, lost brakes like 5 laps in.
Yeah. Which
Uh,
kind of need brakes to get around that place. And especially you can get around that place on your own when you got room in front of you. But once you start hitting lap traffic,
yeah,
that's when it becomes a problem. That's where you could see he really struggled there too, was once he ended up hitting lap traffic. Hoffman was able to catch back up to him and work that lap traffic and get by Ebert at that point in time.
yeah. Because I was gonna say that was gonna kind of lead me to the next point was that Hoffman it leads some laps. Ultimately kind of dropped a little bit on the finish, but Hoffman had a good little showing there for a while in terms of being up front and leading laps.
Yeah. Yeah, led 53 laps, led half of the race, which they went 46, I think, without a caution. Initial or
Yep,
no, sorry, 56 without a caution initially. So, I mean, good run to start it out, but then, yeah, again, just having whatever issues he ended up having, didn't really say, but having his issues ends up dropping to the back of the pack, goes 3 to 1 to 18. So you knew that car just was not right.
yep. Yeah, and this was, I think we talked about it a little bit in the group chat as well, is it was only going to be a matter of time before Bobby Pierce kind of gets righted again. He's been struggling to his own
Yep,
standards. And I guess if you're going to do it, you might as well do it for 100 grand. And he
correct.
just worked his way through there, and he did the pretty typical Bobby Pierce, put her on the fence and just let her hang out and put on a
Yep.
show getting there. So yeah, you just had to know it was gonna be a matter of time before he kind of got right again. Like he's been so good, it's hard to keep somebody like that down for an extended period of time. So yeah,
It it almost is like in the I mean same scenario as up here. We talk about anytime we go asphalt super late model racing up here in the Midwest, anytime the 91 rolls into the track, unless he's not a great time to bring it up after his two last performances, but um very rarely um is he never or very rarely is he not a factor in who wins the race, if not winning it himself. And I think you put Bobby Pierce in that same exact category. Um, doesn't really matter where. There's very few times that he love him or hate him. Um, he's gonna have something to say about who wins the race. And
yep,
I think we didn't even talk about the Thursday night there, Tanner English um,
Hmm.
those
situation
two,
there.
those two saw that very differently.
Yep.
Again,
I mean,
he's gonna have
I
something to say about what happens. But go ahead.
I didn't get the necessary, the good look at it. One, because I probably wasn't paying attention to that part of the race, but I also don't get a great replay view either.
Yep,
So I am kind of in the dark as if I don't see it right away. But I mean, right? General rule of thumb, if you're not at a guy's door, it's not your spot.
correct. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, I thought
I
I personally I thought he drove straight through him.
he did. I just don't understand. Is he waiting for people to just move over for him or what? I
And when it's a
And
heat
I
race like that too, you're not waiting around. Both on
no.
Pierce, but you're also not going to let a guy by that easily.
the other frustrating part comes is there's history there, but we reverse roles here. I'd like to hear Bobby's interview if roles were reversed there.
Oh yeah.
Correct. Yep.
That's
Uh,
so um
Anywho, does somebody have finishing order for that event pulled up?
Yep, I got it right here. Before I get too deep into that, I did want to shine some light on some guys. Ethan Dotson, right? You just never really hear that name a whole lot. 6 to 3 stays up there consistently, solid run. Hudson O'Neal, I think he was your hard charger. Yep, he was your hard charger for that one, going 20 to 4 in that race. Dustin Sorensen always has a coming out moment when it comes to Cedar Lake. He went 14 to 5 after almost winning it a couple years ago. Some other ones, Jason Fager, always good there. Turbo, top 10 after his win. Cody Overton, top 10. But officially, your full rundown, at least the top 10, was Bobby Pierce winning it. Brandon Shepard, very consistent. Started second, finished second. Just couldn't get in the lead. Ethan Dotson, third. Hudson O'Neal, fourth. Dustin Sorensen, fifth. Tanner English, sixth. Tim McCready, seventh. Cody Overton, eighth. Jason Fager, ninth. And Tyler Erb rounding out the top 10.
Yep.
yeah, a couple
Yeah.
I think we hit on them. Yeah, it's always an interesting. I mean, every race is. You never know what can happen. Who's going to show up and be good? But um, yeah, that was there. Dotson and um, yeah. Um, what exactly? I know it was maybe missed, but did Hoffman? Did he lose a tire? Because he was running up. He was running well too, and then I think like it never. I never really found out what went down with Hoffman there.
I
Because he
never
was
saw
running well
anything, but
too.
I'm going to look them up, see if there's. Yeah, he never posted anything as far as what, happened.
Right.
And I mean, fortunate for him is those nights are. 'Cause I think unofficially he finished 18th
18th. Yep.
Yeah.
in big picture here. Yeah, it's tough to have those nights when you're competing with the 32 for championship.
That gap is
Uh,
getting larger.
correct. Those nights like that make it incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Last note here. Next year already announcing they're putting out some teasers for fans and voting on next year's the 40th edition of the USA Nationals. So already releasing some logos for year 40. And in big news, they already announced that the Thursday portion of next year's show is going to pay 40,000 to win. So um,
I would expect this 40 year to be quite a big deal.
Yep.
I wonder what the payout is throughout the field. Um, but needless to say, uh, 40K to win that bad boy. That's going to grab some eyes. That'll grab some attention there.
Well, I
40K
can
for Thursday night, and then same 100K for big show.
I can tell you Saturday night was 3,000 to start and Thursday was 800 to start. So do with that information as you see.
Any
Yep.
other final thoughts on USA Nationals?
Love the event. love the event, love the atmosphere. It's a great racetrack. It's an incredible facility. Obviously, they're pumping a lot of money into making that a premier event, and it's showing its historical presence as we continue to
Mhm.
make that event bigger.
Just for the love of all mercy, I don't want rain on that weekend.
Dude, I know.
2 of the 3 years we've gone, we've gotten that now. So
Yep. Just let a guy get home at a reasonable hour at night.
yeah,
So,
oof.
correct.
Oh,
Yeah, he's not muted. I don't know what he's got going on there. Oop, we lost him on the media.
un momento. He's fixing it.
Yeah, un momento. Well, I guess we're headed to watch trucks. We're talking
Yeah,
about the truck series.
yeah. Talking about the truck series. Talking about moving over to. I still call it the
Am I
Dixieland.
back?
You're
Oop,
back.
there you are.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's rock and roll. I got low bandwidth on my internet. So let's go from the west coast of Wisconsin to the east side of Wisconsin, from dirt to asphalt. Let's talk Dixieland at Wisconsin International Raceway. Um, Another Tuesday night show, first Tuesday in August. You can mark your calendars for 27, 28. It's always the first Tuesday. Makes scheduling easy for you. But we had the Dixieland Delight 35 Midwest Trucks before the big show, the 250. Where do you guys want to start? We'll talk trucks a little bit, and then we'll talk a little super late models.
Cam, you're gonna have to carry me on this one. I was on my way home for this, so
Gotcha. Well, I mean, right? 24 trucks for that one. Continuing on their strong showing of drivers showing up for that. Um, Tristan Swanson starting P4. You knew that was going to be an issue right away as well. But you had some really good cars starting up front as well. Brady Bill has been showing some speed as of recently. Brent Struckla, who's got a lot of laps around that place, and is a former champion, track champion there, started second. Um, Again, Tristan Swanson starting fourth. But right, pretty straightforward race, I would say for the most part. Your biggest incidents were Austin Warner pounding the outside wall in turn two. Um, Again, didn't catch what happened. Just saw him sitting over in the corner over there. And Daniel Bain, little brush up with Blake Brown. You know,
yep,
Blake got loose, Daniel got loose. They're both trying to catch it, end up in the outside wall. Tough break for her because she was started fifth, was running up front. Doesn't run all that often as it is on a part-time schedule, so you hate to see any part-time or really anybody getting caught up in a mess. Um, but ultimately, though, all right, your guys that you're kind of looking for. Um, Nick Van again coming up from the back. He started 10th. Eugene Gregorich, he started 7th. Swanson starting fourth. I mean, those three kind of took the race on their own. Whether it was at the beginning of the race or on a restart, they kind of went out on their own. Brandon Reichenberger started 8th, um, led his way up through the pack, ended up finishing 4th. You know, I think equipment cooling down didn't help him any. Kind of got
yeah,
everybody back to a level basis. But I think if the long run stuck out and everybody was grouped together, right? Big F. But he'd have been sitting in a good spot. But Tristan Swanson again flexing his muscle, 4th win of the year for him.
yeah. He just when we thought the points battle was tightening up a little bit, he said, "Hang on, folks."
Let me get my points back.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he had that late race caution you were talking about. Um, I had to do the restart with Eugene Gregorich, and we had this in a different race, but little gamesmanship there on the restarts we're dealing with. Had to redo it. But yeah, I was gonna say Reichenberger there at the end. I think if you give him 5 more laps around that place, um, but it was just rolling around on the top side, just picking them off one at a time. Um, so yeah, I feel like if you gave him 5 more laps, he would have something to say about it. But yeah, Gregorich just said he had the long run um, in his post race interview, which he was, yeah, him and Swanson were battling it out, and he said he had the long run car and the cautions were didn't have the short run to keep up with Swanson. So yeah, that's the old 31 Motorsports showing their
Yep.
muscle again.
Yes, for sure.
And Nick Van showing some pretty good strength as well. Who's to say if he's able to run a full season, what he could do. Um, Grant Griesbach at his home track finishing sixth as well. But your full top 10 was Tristan Swanson, Eugene Gregorich the third, Nick Van, Brandon Reichenberger, Brent Strucka, Grant Griesbach, Brady Bill, James Swan, Robbie Rux, and James Lynch round out your top 10. Real quick, want to touch on the Midsummer Shootout as well for the Midwest Trucks. So, Swanson obviously
Oh boy.
him moved on into the next position. Um, Nick Van beat Blake Brown, gets him into the next round, and then himself in the next round. So that gets you Swanson versus Griesbach and Van versus Reichenberger as we go ready.
Where you get your internet?
Right at my internet?
Yeah,
We're losing ya.
Yo,
Uh-oh.
yeah,
not issues. Great.
yeah. Big trouble here.
We'll
Well,
see
I'm
if
going
it
to
comes
keep
back
rolling
around.
then.
Well, there it came back around a little bit.
Okay.
Um, yeah, my champ is still alive. So, unfortunately and fortunately and unfortunately for my bracket, not good. For my wanting him to succeed, good. Um, Reichenberger eliminated one of my finalists. So, yeah. So that's good and not good all at the same point. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, good race. I mean, Clemson opened up the gap a little bit on the point standings. He's our point leader. He's 43 ahead of Swan. Gregorich is 45. And then Brandon jumped Blake Brown, so he's 90 back, and then Blake Brown's 91. So it's Swanson by himself. You got a battle for second, 2 points separated, and then fourth and fifth with Reckenberger and Brown are both separated by a point. So um, you stretch it down to sixth. It's Brady Bill, 114 back, and then Greasebox, 138 in seventh. Some point battles there as well in terms of the season long race as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that was yeah, that was again. We talk about it. They were talking about it too. Would you say 24 trucks we had total?
Yeah.
So they are, I think they said on the broadcast, averaging 27 trucks a show. So
Yep.
that's yeah, that series is doing well. They put on a good product, and yeah, I think sometimes the only thing we can complain about is we'd like to see them race a little longer, give them some more laps. So um, yeah, that was right before. That was right before the big one, the Dixieland 250 super late models. So um, I don't know where you guys want to start, other than this track is tough on equipment and 250 laps around there. Um, that'll do a number. So I don't know where exactly you guys want to start, but we have an eventful 250 laps that we can talk about here. So
Yeah, I mean, I think let's kind of go down the list of the guys that had issues, and then we can kind of sort out the race from there. Fenhouse has an issue with the rear end. He pulls up. Um, he pulls up broke. Zier had an issue. They did not fully mention the issue with Zier.
I heard
Uh,
power steering.
okay. Um, Majeski was a ball joint that had come apart. So front end issues, and he actually jumped on, put the headset on, and was helping
Stenja.
Stenjum.
Yep.
Yep. Stenjum had helped him a little bit on his crew when he was up here. And then Austin Nason kind of pulled up lame, stopped, and then pulled into the pits. What was the report there?
Something in the rear end.
Gotcha. So,
Seemed like a bolt or something like that connecting bars was what the issue was there.
gotcha. Vandergees had overheating issues, so motor troubles to a certain degree for the 23 camp. So, all right.
I just want to mention on that fact with the mechanical issues for Vandergeest, Nason, Majeski, and Fenhouse, those all before halfway.
Yeah. Yep.
So it
Early.
just
Yep.
we said this at the track. That was just a weird race up to that point
Yeah.
with those guys dropping out.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at that, House is your defending event winner, Majeski's won five of the Dixielands. Like,
Yep.
Zier has won a couple super late model races at WIR, and Nason's been fast since he retired.
Well then, right?
Um,
And then we can't forget too. Johnson had his issues in qualifying with the suspension piece.
yep,
And then Morrissey went out to practice, made 2 laps, and he broke a transmission
yep,
on a
and then
brand
that
new
was
car.
yep,
So now you don't know where the transmission came from. You don't know how many miles that transmission's got, but nonetheless, you even had 2 cars have issues before we even got to qualify.
yep. Just kind of fluky, weird stuff that wasn't all the
Yeah.
same. Um,
I'll say this officially, we're taking the retired tag off of Nason
we
Yeah.
can do that.
for him to say that he was retiring, and then the stretch of races he's running, he ain't retired.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna look at the last I don't know 100 laps or so of this race. I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. Because, I mean, right, it went pretty straightforward otherwise. Stenjum led a good part of that race. Fredrickson was always up front. Mondyke was always up front. Um, Sauter was always up front. Did he come off of pit road late at one point in time?
Sauter.
Yeah.
One of the restarts, he didn't fire, had issues with the car not firing, and then he
Oh, he
basically,
missed a shift. That's what it was because he mentioned it in his interview.
yeah, he went to the tail, and then he busted it back, and drove through the field again.
Yep, he missed a shift. That's what happened
Gotcha.
because he mentioned it at the on track, the PA interview. That's
Yep.
yep, 2 and 2. They're coming
He
together
knew.
here.
Eric knew.
Yep,
Eric knew. Caught him.
yep.
Red-handed in the interview. Looked like you missed a shift. Yep, I missed a shift.
Eric's seen his fair share of races. He knows what a missed shift when he
Oh.
sees one.
Yeah. So I mean, really, it's so when you get into the race, it's really the 44 and the 15 kind of got together to a certain degree, and then the 15 Summers spins over in 4 by himself, and he was a little bit off the pace. And then in 4 just kind of spun by himself. If he had a
Yeah.
flat to rear or what the situation, they didn't really say.
They thought it was a flat. All the tires had pressure on it. Um, Made an adjustment while they could.
Yep, sent back out there.
Yep. Um,
Paulie Schaefer,
Another mechanical
and
issue.
yeah, found himself in the foam up in 4. That was a hell of a collision up there.
Yeah, I don't know what broke, but something broke because as that car pointed it straight toward the wall. You could see sparks coming out the backside of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
thing.
forgot exactly what they said. Rear, I don't know if it was rear axle, something in the rear. Because yeah, that thing you saw the sparks coming from right the back end of the car by the left rear, and that thing took a hard right to the foam. And needless to say, he's got some serious work to do on that thing.
Um, yeah, but he has his collision, and then Johnson gets kind of caught. I didn't fully catch what happened, but anyhow, the hood came up on the 47, and that he was running in the top five at the time, and that kind of killed the race for him.
So the only thought that I have with that one, based on Johnson's radio communication, was I think Stenjum did a really tight clear and ripped the hood pins off.
Hmm, gotcha.
Because it
Yeah,
was
they didn't
Stenjum
really
cleared them going into one, and that hood went up in two.
gotcha. Yep, and that's kind of a pseudo teammate because he
Yep.
also
Yep.
drives for Chase Motorsports once in a while.
Correct. And there
More
were
recently.
some, we'll just say there were some words.
Gotcha. Yep, I'm not surprised, and that's frustration for sure.
Just let's go leave it at that.
Yep. And then really really it all comes down to that restart with 11 to go.
Yeah.
And guys were kind of a little bit on different tire strategies. And Mondyke had just a touch of a tire advantage. And really it was Mondyke and Fredrickson on the front row. And there was some touching coming to the green, 1 and 2.
There was a touch. I
Hard
saw the
to
smoke. There
tell
was
from
a
the
touch.
stream. Okay. Yep. Hard to tell from the stream. But anyhow, moral of the story is the 36 ended up on in the wall right off of two and kind of not killed the car, but it eliminated his chance to win the race.
Wasn't going to be able to
So,
catch back up. Yep.
correct. And Mondyke had a good car. Like he ran well all day.
Yep.
They played the strategy right with the tires, and they put them on when they needed them to be there at the end. So yeah, 36 got on the fence. Ultimately saved it to still bring it home second.
Correct. Yep.
Um, so he still brought it home second and finished on the podium. But to get that close to a big event like that, I'm sure just still hurts, and you could tell in his interview.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
hurts to get that close. So,
And yeah, we talk
um,
about this race too. I mean, credits due. Mondyke had a good car and was up front, but sometimes with this race, I mean, the track and the field, the the track and how tough it is on equipment, and then not only that, but the field. Sometimes the biggest thing that race car drivers always say, and I feel like this event even more so, is you got to be there at the end.
And I think
And
the other one you're looking for too, it's better be lucky than good sometimes.
yep,
yeah, you pair those two, and um, yeah, that last
Yep.
restart. Say what you want, you're racing for a win.
Yep.
Um,
fifteen
that
thousand
happened to it,
dollars.
and we had that happen to the old nine machine a couple years ago.
Yep,
Um, Same exact thing. You're racing for a win. You're not giving an inch. You're taking every inch you got. So it is what it is. And I'm not in the car, but from the broadcast, it looked like the 36 maybe his cage was a little rattled after that contact and getting ran up, coming out of two, that he, scuffed the wall himself. I don't know. From the broadcast, didn't look like Mondyke, intentionally pinched him in the wall. But again, that's from a broadcast perspective. That's not
I
me in
don't
a
think
car.
I don't think Mondyke ever pinched in the wall. I will say there was contact in two,
Oh yeah,
yep,
that was for sure.
but
You saw the smoke come off the left rear of the
yep.
36 there, the right rear of the 44. So there's no doubt about that. And yeah, like I said, Fredrickson made his stance view in his post race interview and his post race comments. So the two are going to be around each other going forward. So it will be interesting to see what happens
Um,
moving forward.
two more things to point out here before I give a full field or a top 10 rundown. Bryce Miller. I don't know what happened on that last controlled stop. I don't know how this tire didn't fall off under green, but my God, when that tire came off in two,
Yeah,
and all he had to do was put a new one on, and he was back out. Man, like I said, lucky that thing didn't come off during green, or that's a Luke Fenhouse at Madison situation all over again.
correct. And with that, even with that, for him to be able to recover, get back on the lead lap, and finish seventh to
Yeah,
make the entire race, like that guy's had some luck that it's like it's a horror story you can't describe sometimes. And for him to be able to put together the entire night with the car, right? Obviously, a little hiccup in there that if you could avoid, you'd like to, but to be able to run all 250, finish in the top 10, and be able to like, hey, we finally got laps on this car that is newer to us to try to understand what it
yep,
wants to be faster, right? Like you get into a car, they all react a little different. It just takes seat time to be able to work on the thing and understand what it needs to be fast. So it just yeah, good for him to be able to put together all 250 and even with the little hiccup to be able to finish the race and bring it home in the top 10.
yeah. The other one I want to point out here, your third place finisher, Penn Sauter, one again, right? Being able to come back through the field and finish top three, finishing ahead of Somers, finishing ahead of Johnson, should put him in the points lead now
Yep.
in the best tour
Because
and coming to
Johnson,
a track that he's fairly good at in the Dells.
yeah, with Johnson having the struggles in qualifying as well, that yeah, Penn Sauter is your Midwest Tour point leader. I don't know that, but I'm going to say he is.
Yep.
So,
So,
um, yeah,
so quick run through top 10. Justin Monday ends up getting the win. Fourth career Midwest Tour race, obviously his biggest win of his career. Ty Frederickson second, Penn Sauter third, Riley Stenjum a solid fourth, Somers fifth, Johnny D'Angelo sixth, just a quiet day for him. Bryce Miller seventh, your highest finishing regular at WIR, Sawyer Efforts finishes eighth, Mitch Haver ninth, and Cody Vanderloop rounds out the top 10, and those are all your lead lap cars as well.
yeah. How about I gotta say this because I mentioned on the broadcast. How about the solder crew taking the stickers off of the tires so that they didn't know when they were changing them?
Oh my God.
Did you not? So listening on the broadcast, Sodders had tires yet, but what they did is when they had them down in their pit, they took them and they peeled the stickers off of them. So,
Nobody knew when they were switching tires.
yep.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I'm like, you know what? I respect that. That's you know what? Let's play the game a little bit.
They're playing chess while others are playing checkers.
Correct.
That's
Um,
got Johnny written all over it.
I, I, it's stickers. Take them off. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, they did mention that in broadcast. They're like, yeah, he peeled the stickers off. We can't confirm those are brand new yet.
Oh my God.
So, oh, that was just funny. But yeah, good race, long one. These boys get a well. Some of them, if they don't want to run the Dells on Saturday, these boys for at least the Midwest Tour get a little break until they go back to the Dells on September 5th.
Yep.
So, the Midwest Tour's next race is Labor Day weekend. At the Dells for the Jim Sauter.
Yep.
But there's a Live for Five races coming weekend, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of them guys are headed that way for Saturday as well.
And I wouldn't be surprised if a couple guys don't show up.
Because some guys are gonna have to fix some race cars, unfortunately. But we'll see.
Yep.
So, all right, yeah, good event, good show. It's
Well,
always
like
a
I said,
long marathon.
long race, and the best part about it is you can start planning ahead and put that in your calendar for the next couple of years. First Tuesday in August every year. So, um, yeah, it's a good event, tough one, crown jewel, tough track, tough on equipment, and always a good field car. So, any other final thoughts?
No.
All right, then let's rock and roll here. Hand out the um, most prestigious award in racing. That is the Wheelman, and so we've got the 25th Wheelman of the week here. And I'm just going to go ahead here and rattle them all off. So we got Penn Sauter winning his first super late model race at WIR Thursday night, last Thursday night. Penn Sauter gets his first super late model win there. We talked about it earlier. Bobby Pierce gets it right and wins his third USA Nationals, ties for the most in event history. Um, he's got a shot to win wherever he shows up, and he likely will be next year. There's a good shot that he will be most wins in event history. Just talked about it here. Justin Mondyke wins his first Dixieland 250. Um, got it done on the last restart there and ultimately ran away with it. Also talked about it tonight. Tristan Swanson wins a Dixieland 35 for his fourth Midwest truck win in 2026. Just when he thought he was down and out, proves he's not. And then last one here, Kyle Cummins wins the Indiana Sprint Week Championship. Brought home the most money earned during the week in the event history. So Kyle Cummins coming out of
Continue
Indiana
on
Sprint
his.
Week, yeah, with a little bit more full, some deeper pockets,
Yeah.
to say the least.
I'm down to two.
Yeah, I think I'm down to 3.
I think I'm down to two.
Okay, you guys shoot your 2 and then I'll eliminate one.
Pierce and Mondyke.
Okay.
I'm down to Pearson Cummins.
I was Swanson and Mondyke. Um, so you got history on 2 fronts. Mondyke wins his first 250, and you have Pierce that wins his third USA Nationals. Um, I don't want to be the deciding factor this week, so I'll just go ahead and go Bobby Pierce is my vote.
I'm gonna go with Pierce then.
With Pierce, 25th Wheelman of the Week award.
That is his second to the season.
It
In that,
is.
yep.
Yep.
Just a couple weeks ago,
Bob.
got it. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Well, yeah, obviously Bobby's he is a wheelman. Um, dude gets it done. So, we've got our schedules posted on social already. Those were posted on Monday, so stay tuned. Or if you're looking for racing, go give those a look, give them a like, give them a share. Um, and yeah, that'll sum up any racing that you're looking for in one nice little graphic. Um, Big announcement here for the podcast. We've been sitting on this one for a while, so getting ready. We've been waiting to announce this for us, but we got a new race pick leader in the race pick standings after this last weekend. Um, and yeah, flexing some muscle here. That was a good clean sweep there for me. So um offline we've been making some picks here. Dixieland, tire changer picked Venhouse, Jackman picked Sauter, I picked Fredrickson. We had some USA National picks there with I had Pierce and O'Neill. Kellen had Moran and Shepard, and then tire changer had Hoffman and Madden. So, moral story: we got a new race pick point standings leader, and I am looking forward to looking out that front window and doing a little camera driving out the rear view camera, I should say nowadays.
Go ahead, you get to make your pick.
So, that is the first week, or that is the update and the announcement we've been waiting to make. And then we got to roll right here. It looks like you guys are rocking and rolling. The floor is yours. Take a race pick.
Iowa, Ryan Blaney.
Hamlin.
And I am going to go. It's two people.
I bet you I know one of them.
Who?
Byron.
Nope.
Interesting. I was gonna say, average finish of 1.5 in the 2 races ran there so far. Now he's got a third.
Since where do we go after? Where do we go after Iowa? Skip it.
Do you really want to know?
Doesn't make a difference. I'm gonna go with the safe pick. I'm gonna pick Briscoe.
It's not like we have a number of uses for this one.
My gut was telling me hung money, but A, I really can't trust him because it's either win or broke or wreck. And B, you really can't trust him with what's going on at HMS right now.
Oh.
So you're either showing up with a rocket or a snowplow, and you don't know which one you got. So,
And that rocket might have blown tire.
yep. Cool. That was the 139th edition of the Tuesday Track Talk. Um, any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
Good stretch of racing. I was on vacation for it, so I was able to enjoy a lot of it. Hate that I'm going back to work, but looking forward to the stuff that's coming up this week. A lot of good races this weekend.
Yeah, you headed to the Dells?
I am. I will be at the Dells on Saturday.
I have
To be determined.
I have voluntold plans.
To be determined.
Yeah, my wife had to work on her anniversary, so we have anniversary plans on Saturday.
Mm.
So I will be busy.
Good man.
You gotta take care of the ones that take care of you when you can go racing. That's the way I think about it.
Yeah. So like you said, we got a lot of good racing coming up here. And yeah, I don't want to say it's championship season, but we're into August here already, and the days are clicking by. It's going to be Labor Day weekend before you know it, and then it's special season and championship season. So, you can get out to a short track, get out to a track near you, watch some racing, buy a ticket. I'll let you use your discretion on where you buy that ticket based on how much you can afford. But for us, we appreciate everybody that follows along, that listens with us. Don't be afraid to like, comment, subscribe, send this to your best friend, and we appreciate all you. So we'll see you next week on another episode of the Tuesday Track Talk.